Do you have to be into masks to play? I'm not Daredevil. I'm not that one picture of Daredevil. That's not, or that one costume of Daredevil. That's not me. I can't see in this thing. This is supposed to be Zorro's mask. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to go buy a mask or cut a hole in this shirt. But yeah, I'm not gonna be wearing this the whole time. Now, Wikipedia says Zorro is a dashing masked vigilante. Now, those words are tough to say together. Masked vigilante. Masked vigilante. Okay, never mind. I stuttered a few times before trying. Now, if you look at myself, while I had the mask on, I would say that I am maybe also a dashing masked vigilante. Well, I'm not a masked vigilante, but I guess the dashing part is correct, but I couldn't see. So maybe that's just in my mind. Now, Zorro defends the poor and the victimized against the injustice, against all the cruel that's out to get them in the world. Now, the brand of Zorro has released many great things. There's been over 40 movies and 10 TV shows with this. And honestly, I was watching one the other day. I was sitting down on my couch, opened up Pluto. I opened up a streaming platform that's completely free, and I saw Zorro was on. It's quite convenient, actually. I didn't see this on ever before. I opened it up and I was watching this in black and white. A very entertaining show. There's been 5 video games. There was many websites with different answers on how many video games there was for Zorro overall. I don't know why we can't decide on what answer. I mean, how many games came out? Seriously. But then there's this, Zorro the Chronicles. And without giving too much away, do you have to be into hot men in masks? I don't know why I added the hot men in there. Do you have to be into masks to play this? Now, I was scrolling on Epic Games, and Epic Games had their special sale going on, and I purchased this game without knowing anything on it. I didn't know anything on this game. I just saw Zorro, and I was familiar with Zorro. I seen a movie back like a while ago. I don't know, I'm not that old, but I don't know how long ago this movie came out. I saw one of his movies, and I thought, okay, this could be an interesting game to play. The trailer they showed seemed intriguing. I thought it would be a great game, so now I'm covering it. And you quickly get tossed into the game. And before each level begins, you get to choose which character you want to be. You want to be Diego, you want to be Inez. I think that's how you pronounce it. For the entirety of the playthrough that I did, I chose Inez because you get an extra heart of health. You get an extra HP point. Now, if you chose Diego, you get an extra KO charge. As you build up combos by attacking enemies, you build up this KO charge. And having an additional one allows you to use an additional super attack. Now, I'm just gonna mention this now before we actually get into the gameplay itself and more detail of the game. Now, the game felt it was missing a lot. Now, it's rated E10+, not that anybody goes by the ratings nowadays, but it was rated E10+. And it felt like it was for maybe the leapfrog. I don't know if you guys know what the leapfrog is, but it felt like it was for younger people. It felt like it was under 10. This game just felt so blank. It felt very, very blank. The gameplay loop is on another level and not a good level. And some of these levels are not good. Now, this game is an action adventure game, and your horse takes you to these different locations and you go around, you fight the enemies, and you get the conclusion of the level, right? That's what the game is. It's a little hack and slash actions in there. If you played Batman Arkham, it's similar to that. You just fight the enemies with little combos and stuff like that. Now, right off the bat, as soon as you get into the game, you see this massive UI, at least what's what it felt like, or HUD, UI or HUD. You got your health, you have your combos, and you have the quests on the right side. It just feels all big. And if you go to the settings menu, all that there is the music. Like, you have no options in the settings menu. It's one page. There's nothing here for me to change. Now, the game also felt like throughout the playthrough, it felt like it would automatically reset the volume to maximum. Now, I would lower this so many times, and it just felt so loud no matter what. It just always felt loud. But over time, I got used to the UI. I mean, there's bigger things to grumble about, and I found that on dictionary.com. Now, most of the time during fights, you'll be doing combos, and it'll select you, like it'll highlight the next enemy you're going to attack, so it'll kind of boost you to that direction, and it keeps boosting you to those directions, or you'll jump over one character, and the camera just doesn't follow you. I cut myself off there to just just right to the chase here. The camera doesn't follow you very well. You don't really control the camera during these fights, and I've tried. I'm holding the stick down because I played with a controller. I'm holding the stick down and it's just not moving. And so sometimes I'll be attacking somebody who's off the screen and the camera will just slowly move over that direction. And I can't even see what I'm doing, but I'm hoping I'm getting the guy. Another thing is, when you're taking damage, the only indication of you taking damage, like if you miss, you could press B to counter, right? If you miss a counter, the only indication is either if you're watching that animation actually hit you, which isn't always accurate, or you're watching your health just remove a heart. There's no actual animation that tells me, oh, I just got hit. I just continue swinging, keep fighting. There's no like knockback, there's nothing. Now there was many times where I was attacking people. Now you don't actually eliminate them, you just knock them out. They all get knocked out, whether you throw them into a fountain or you throw them into a manure pile, a haystack. That was a fun part. You'll allay them and they'll run past and they just ran into a street light. There were streetlights in this. There's also bells, and these bells were annoying. If you couldn't find these bells and an enemy noticed you, they will run over to the bell, ring it, and it'll spawn extra enemies from these buildings in. Now I mentioned the settings menu, and this is below bare minimum. And this settings menu had less settings than some Flash games that I've played, but maybe a little bit more customization within that could have been good. Not that it's a difficult game to run. I don't even know if I was running at my true resolution. I don't even know what resolution I was playing at or what. Now I know I have mentioned a lot of negative things. There's been so much negative things. There's a lot to mention, but there are some good things. I will say there are some good things that I did like actually. At the end of each level, you get a scorecard of how you did, how you performed, what kind of things did you complete within this level. And one of them being these wanted posters. There's these hidden wanted posters around the map that you have to find. And when you do find it, Zorro or his sister, they're both Zorro, you'll put up a poster on there and you'll spray paint a little design on there. It's goofy. It really is goofy. And I enjoyed that. They're not just highlighted. You actually have to explore the map and find these in hidden locations, not necessarily hidden like maybe on a side of a building, but you won't be able to see it unless you're over there on the other side of the map where you don't really need to be. Now at first I did enjoy the fighting of the men I'm going after. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed fighting them. I enjoyed the combat, is what you would say. I enjoyed the combat. Over time, this got so old because yes, you can unlock new abilities. There is like not necessarily a skill tree, but there's a point sheet where you go across and you start unlocking new abilities and you unlock the next level and you unlock new abilities. But the gameplay feels exactly the same. Yes, I may unlock a new ability, but it doesn't feel like it does much, right? You just keep attacking it. You may as well just keep attacking them. Like, yeah, they'll give me more abilities to work with, but they feel very useless. They don't feel like I need to use them or should be using them. So you get stuck in this just swing slash and attack, and in some games that's fine, but this game just doesn't. It feels so flat, and I mentioned that before. It just feels flat. It doesn't feel very varietical. There's not much variety. Now there was a whip movement, right? You have a whip, okay? Whip. You can whip on top of buildings, you can whip on top of light posts, and you can whip to stun people or take this guy's pole out of his hand. But the movement itself of the whip was very satisfying. As I got more and more comfortable with it, I just started whipping around like I was playing Assassin's Creed. I was flinging on top of buildings, I was flinging on top of lamp posts and getting stealth killed. Stealth KOs. You don't kill anybody. I mentioned the stealth KOs. At first I did kind of go the stealth route because I was like, okay, they incorporated the stealth route. You have two different options during a level start. They incorporated stealth or the brute force option. So I kept going with the stealth route. I thought it was cool. You could sneak around, you could hop above, take somebody down, then you could hop back above, take down another guy. Like there was a good stealth mechanic going until you can literally do the same thing for the rest of the game. You can do that same tactic the entire time through the rest of the game. The stealth, hop on top of something because they can't see you. Even if you're on top of a light post where you're almost eye level, your feet are almost eye level with them. That's an exaggeration. They still don't know you're there. Now, just like in any stealth game for the most part, there is a notify system. Now, if you're in somebody's view for a long period of time, they'll, the circle will light up and they'll get notified and it'll notify other people around them that, hey, there's somebody here. So as long as you don't fill that up and you go down and stealth KO somebody and hop back up before somebody else's circle lights up, you're fine. And you can just keep repeating the process. Throw a rock, because you could do that too. You could throw a rock. You throw a rock, attract somebody over, take them down. Next person, throw a rock, throw a rock, throw a rock, take somebody down. And that just kind of got old very quickly. Now, I didn't play through the entire game because I honestly couldn't. I couldn't beat this. It got so repetitive that here I am. I just had to make the video already. And I will get into the story very soon. Now, because the stealth got old very quick, I decided to maybe spice it up a little bit. I started going the brute force route. I started going the main fighting route through it. Not that helped too much, but it gave me a different perspective on things. And I kind of did mix a little bit of stealth into some of the levels. I tried to sneak around in some areas areas and then maybe go for it all the way in others. Now that really is all there is to say about the gameplay. There's not a whole lot to it. Like I said, you unlock new abilities within the skill system. The story takes a whole nother route. Okay, this story, I had high hopes for it, quite honestly. I actually did enjoy it, and maybe this is where I kind of got burned out, is when I'll get into it. At the beginning, before you actually enter a level, like I said, you choose which character you want to play as. Again, I chose Inez all the time. I love the extra hearts. But before you enter a level, it tells you the story prompt. It tells you what you're going to be getting into. Despite whatever the story is, yeah, there might be slightly different mechanics within the actual level, but you're fighting the same enemies. The maps look very, very, very similar. There is minor alterations between the levels, but they look very similar. And like I mentioned, at first I was intrigued with the story. The first 4 levels felt really good. Like I was actually excited. I was interested in what the story was holding. The level 1, Monasterio is keeping the LA tax money and I have to steal it back. Okay, very, very simple. It's level 1. It's also the tutorial level. It teaches you the different things you need to know about the level. And then after you complete this level, it then leads you into level 2, which level 2, because I took the money, Monasterio kidnapped Aunt Tana. I'm not very familiar with who she is, but this is the first time she's introduced in the game. I maybe missed it in the intro cutscene. If there was an intro cutscene, correct me. Maybe cut this out if there's not. And I'm tasked to then go find different parts of a map, reconstruct it so I get the location of where she's being hidden, which also is I go fight these different enemies to find the one that drops the map piece, then go around, fight a different enemy that drops the map piece and collect them all until I find the actual location. So after that, it then leads into level 3. See, there's continuation within these levels. One thing leads to another, leads to another. I like that. It creates a storyline. It creates a sphere of what I'm playing, and it creates a, you get the point. Now level 3, now since I have the map, I have to go rescue Aunt Tana, and she also knows where other captives are. Now this kind of sneaks a little bit of something in there because I didn't know that there was other captives until it told me this. So I go rescue her, and then she also tells me where other captives are being held. Okay, a little bit interesting. I didn't know there was other captives. I didn't know there were other people being held prisoner. I didn't know this, but that's okay. This leads into level 4. Again, like I mentioned, continuation. We like the continuation. We like the And Tina then gives me the map, and I have to go and free those villagers that are being held. Unfortunately, level 5 is where it all changes. Very, very unfortunately. Level 5, it changes. Forget everything that happened after I freed the villagers. Forget it all. Level 5. Monasterio is trying to sell a sword for personal political gain. Okay. And I have to go steal it back. Okay, maybe this is just a one-off. Maybe there's gonna be a second storyline. Maybe it's gonna continue after this. Well, wait till I get to level 6. Monasterio poisoned a river to ruin my name. Yeah, you heard that correctly. He had poisoned a river to ruin my name, and I have to go clear my name and fix the river, of course. So how did we get to this point? Is it because of all the stuff I did in the past? Is it the sword that I stole from him so he didn't sell it for political gain? Is it freeing all the villagers that he's holding and stealing the tax money back? Is it all that? Level 7, and I'm not going through all the levels, this is the final one I'm doing. Monasterio is planning to take credit for installing the church bell, and I have to make sure that doesn't happen. So you kind of get the gist. Now you get the quest, okay, go knock out this guy and take his keys so you can free the villagers. Yeah, you're somewhat playing in it, but the level barely feels like it's meeting those expectations. You're barely scraping by to fit those level prompts. And yes, I'm actually taking action of what it says. Like I'm actually freeing the villagers. I'm actually freeing Aunt Tana. I'm stopping Monasterio from taking credit for the church bell, but it just feels so flat. It feels very, very flat. And I just kind of wish that there was more of a story, like the first 4 levels, like it actually felt good with a continuation. It actually felt good. Now the game actually was enjoyable at first. It was, like I mentioned, I've said it multiple times, the gameplay felt good, the fighting felt good, but until I guess things started fizzling away and it just got super repetitive. There was new enemies added, but I mean, there was this point where I thought that this new guy added was a mini boss, and I took him out with 1 super KO, but it turns out he wasn't even the mini boss. But then I took out the mini boss with 1 super KO, which just one-shot him. So there wasn't much of a challenge, or there wasn't much of a distinction that this guy really is a boss. I know it's a hack and slashy type game, but this game is $30 on Steam, right? It's $30. It's listed right here. and don't mind this. I mean, the Spider-Man game, 0.9 hours, just don't mind that. And it is about $15 to $20 for depending on if you get the PlayStation version. But I just don't see this as the game of choice unless you really, really love Zorro, unless you really are collecting all these games, get the physical copy. I just don't see this as the game of choice around that price. And so overall, do you have to be into hot men in masks that just cover their eyes with their nice hat and their smooth? Overall, do you have to be into masks and whips and maybe being thrown into a pond by Zorro to play Zorro the Chronicles? Yes. And the answer is yes. You really, really need to love Zorro in order to play this game from beginning to end. Now, I love Zorro. I'm not saying I don't, but you really, really need to love Zorro to play this game.